Just imagine for a moment, in the states of America where the strictest taboos reign supreme, in those societies under the shadow of churches where moral codes are enforced with an iron fist, women's passion for sexuality simmers beneath the surface like a volcano ready to erupt. Years of imposed taboos have not extinguished these suppressed desires. On the contrary, they have only fueled them further. Geography? That doesn't matter either, because striking research in recent years has revealed that these very forbidden areas are where women's curiosity about sexuality is most intense. From Alabama to Texas, Utah to Mississippi. Why? Religious influences, education levels, and economic conditions transform curiosity from a whisper into a scream. This proves that desires know no bounds, a secret fire burns everywhere. So, what are the real stories behind these surprising statistics? Which state holds the top spot? And why do taboos have the opposite effect? In this video, we embark on a journey filled with statistics and unforgettable anecdotes. Hello, I'm Dr. Lyra Benton. Welcome to my channel where I focus on urology and men's health. What data reveals women's secret desires in the US? From national sexual surveys to Pornhub's steamy viewing statistics, from sex toy sales booms to e-commerce trends to the CDC's state-by-state activity reports, even birth rates whisper secrets. For example, Pornhub's annual reports show which regions women are searching furiously in, while CDC data captures shocking spikes in teen births. When all these indicators come together, the picture explodes. In the most religious, traditional states, sexual curiosity is volcanic, far more than imagined. So, what kind of map do these figures paint, and where are the secrets hidden? In this video, we dive deep with numbers, graphs, and real stories. Are you ready? Or will these statistics make you say wow too? Watch now, subscribe, and don't forget to like. 5. Wyoming, the hidden curiosity of the quiet lands. Wyoming, one of the least populated states in the U.S., is typically known for its tranquility, vast prairies, and rural lifestyle. However, statistics reveal an unexpected picture behind this quiet landscape. Did you know that Wyoming is the state with the highest per capita purchase of sex toys in the U.S.? Yes, you heard that right. Women in Wyoming show a significantly higher interest in sex toys than the national average. According to an analysis by a major adult products retailer, Wyoming ranks first in the country for sex toy sales. Google search trends also support this picture. Wyoming ranks third nationally with an index value of 95 for keywords such as sex toy and vibrator. Experts suggest several possible reasons for this. First, the state's vast geography and low population density lead to limited social interaction. This causes individuals, especially women, to pursue their exploration and satisfaction of sexuality through more individual means. Sex toys offer a space for exploration intertwined with solitude at this point. Furthermore, Wyoming's social structure, while appearing conservative from the outside, shows that individuals can behave quite freely in their private lives. Research shows that Wyoming women also have a higher frequency of sexual intercourse than the U.S. average, with adults engaging in sexual intercourse an average of 1.34 times per week. This state ranks among the top 15 out of 50 states. There is a picture of sexuality that is not openly discussed culturally but is quite active in practice. This high level of interest among women in understanding their own bodies and enriching their sexual lives puts Wyoming in 5th place on the list. 4. Arkansas, a high level of sexual activity in the shadow of the taboo. Arkansas is a state located in the southern United States and known for its conservative culture. However, appearances can sometimes be deceiving. According to national surveys, Arkansas adults engage in sexual intercourse an average of 1.66 times per week. This rate represents the 4th highest frequency of sexual activity nationwide. In a region with such an intense sex life, it is not surprising that women's interest in sexuality is also high. The rate of sexual activity among young women in Arkansas is particularly striking. According to CDC data, the state's birth rate among 15 to 19-year-olds is 27.8 per thousand. This rate ranks second in the country. In other words, young women in Arkansas are both sexually active and often lack adequate protection awareness. One of the main reasons for this is the lack of a comprehensive sex education system in the state. Sexuality is still a taboo subject in many schools and is not openly discussed within families. This leads to a young population whose natural curiosity is satisfied not with knowledge, but through trial and error. Still, Arkansas women's interest in sexuality is not limited to partnered relationships. Google search data shows that the state has an index of 83 points for searches related to sex toys. This value places Arkansas among the top 10 states in the U.S. most interested in sex toys. There is a seemingly traditional but essentially quite curious societal profile. This situation can be considered one of the ways in which suppressed desires are expressed. Therefore, Arkansas ranks fourth on the list as a state where sexuality is not discussed but is experienced to a great extent. 3. Alaska. Warm relationships in cold weather. Alaska is a state located in the northernmost part of the United States, known for its cold climate and long winter nights. However, these long nights also bring people closer together. According to a 2023 National Sexual Behavior Survey, adults in Alaska have sex an average of 2.8 times per week. This rate is nearly 3 times the U.S. average. In other words, Alaska is by far number one in terms of frequency of sexual activity. Sociologists explain this situation with geographical isolation and climate conditions. Long winters lead to more time spent indoors and social interaction shifting to more private spaces. This increases physical intimacy between couples and creates an environment where individuals express their sexual energy more frequently. It is also noted that women in Alaska have a more liberal and experience-oriented view of sexuality compared to other states. According to a 2008 study by Harvard Business School, Alaska ranks second in the U.S. for paid subscriptions to online pornography. Furthermore, sales data from Adam and Eve, one of the country's leading adult product retailers, shows that Alaska ranks second in per capita sex toy purchases. All this data reveals that women in Alaska show great interest in sexuality, not only theoretically but also practically. Living in a cold climate does not seem to suppress the warm aspects of human nature. On the contrary, it enhances them. 2. Louisiana, where passion, chaos, and curiosity meet. Louisiana is one of America's most colorful states. New Orleans' music-filled streets, Mardi Gras festival, and free nightlife have long made the state one of America's hottest regions. However, this reputation is not limited to entertainment. Sexual behavior studies show that Louisiana has the highest number of sexual partners in the U.S. over a lifetime, with an average of 15.7 partners for both women and men. This rate is more than double the national average. Women in Louisiana prefer to explore their sexuality rather than suppress it. However, there is a paradoxical picture here. While sexuality is so openly lived, sex education is still inadequate. The state ranks third in the country with a teenage birth rate of 25.7 per thousand. This indicates that young women lack information about sexual relationships and do not have sufficient access to contraception. According to experts, this situation is the result of a culture of sexuality that is not talked about, but is experienced. Google Trend data shows that Louisiana ranks high with 86 points on the Sex Toy Interest Index. This shows that women are active not only in partner relationships, but also in their pursuit of individual pleasure. Louisiana is a place where passion, freedom, and suppressed curiosity melt together. For these reasons, it ranks second among the states where American women show the most interest in sexuality. 1. Mississippi. Stormy curiosity. Beneath the hard shell, picture Mississippi for a moment. A state filled with the humid forests of the South, deep religious roots, conservative norms, and echoing prayers from churches. From the outside, it seems like a place where topics like sexuality are overshadowed, right? But statistics overturn this image. This is the state where women show the most intense interest in sexuality. According to Google search trends, it tops the Sex Toy Index with a perfect score of 100, demonstrating women's leadership in exploring their bodies and using pleasure tools. So, how does this curiosity stay alive beneath a rigid shell? Does pressure fuel the fire? CDC data from 2023 paints a striking picture. The teen birth rate for 15 to 19-year-olds is the highest at 24.9 per thousand, signaling early and intense activity among young women, coupled with a lack of protection. According to the YRBS, 39.2% of high school girls report having had sexual intercourse. This reflects an early onset and number of partners higher than the national average. Is curiosity shaped by experimentation in the absence of knowledge? The story gets interesting online. Mississippi ranks in the top 3 for pornography subscriptions. Women lead at 26%. Digital anonymity directs curiosity to hidden channels. STI rates 263.7 per 100,000 among women, confirm active lifestyles. A University of Mississippi survey shows 90% activity and increased birth control use, but an education gap persists. Experts call this the pressure-curiosity cycle. While norms stifle conversation, women seek satisfaction through individual and digital means. Mississippi exemplifies the suppress it and it explodes principle. Does the secret at the top remind us of the fire within? Conclusion. The anatomy of unsuppressible curiosity. When all this data is brought together, we see that American women's interest in sexuality is actually a universal phenomenon. However, the expression of this interest varies according to the geography and culture in which one finds oneself. While sexuality is more taboo and secretive in the southern states, it is more open and natural in the north and in isolated regions such as Alaska. But the common point is this: women's sexual curiosity cannot be completely suppressed anywhere. The American Urological Association and Planned Parenthood organizations have been delivering the same message for years. The way to improve women's sexual health is to increase access to comprehensive sex education and birth control services in every state. Studies conducted in states like Louisiana and Oklahoma have shown that providing sex education in schools reduces risky behavior and increases women's sexual satisfaction levels. Remember, the content I share here is for general health and educational purposes. Whether in Mississippi or Alaska, women's interest in sexuality is based on the same fundamental truth: the desire to explore, feel, and express oneself. Geography, religion, or culture may shape it, but they cannot erase it. This list shows us not only a numerical ranking, but also one of the irrepressible aspects of human nature. Because sexuality is not just a physical act, it is also a reflection of curiosity, identity, and the pursuit of freedom. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like it, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe. See you in the next video with topics that will amaze you. Take care. Stay tuned.